Hello, thank you so much for joining us again. This is TV Kudirats. Today is Sunday, the 30th of May in the year 2021. It's nice to be here with you once again on Business Realm. Business Realm is a program that is out to share entrepreneurship tips to everyone who is interested in starting a business or anyone who has been in a business but is finding the business journey challenging and would need someone to share with. We are here to listen, we are here to share, we are here to motivate, we are here to encourage. So thank you for joining us. Either you're joining live or you come across this video after the live presentation. It's a live presentation, and today we are taking another topic. As a reminder, last week we uh, dwelled on last week we handled we talked about introduction to entrepreneurship, and under introduction to entrepreneurship we defined what entrepreneurship is as the task of setting up a business for the purpose of making gains, of making profits. And we also mentioned who an entrepreneur is. An entrepreneur is somebody who uh, who esta- who perform that task and sustains the business. Somebody who manages a business. Somebody who establishes a business and manages the business and sustains the business. That's an entrepreneur. And we mentioned benefits of entrepreneurship, and we said that being an entrepreneur will to a large extent put you in charge of your life. You are in charge of your life to a large extent. And we also mentioned benefits of entrepreneurship. Yes, we mentioned benefits of entrepreneurship. You are in charge of your life, you are in charge of your resources, you are in charge of your income, and you are in charge of your time, and you have the opportunity to mentor others, to lead others, to show others the way. And we say that this will give you a sense of accomplishment, a sense of fulfillment. It will make you happy that you are a shining light for others to emulate. Now, who can be an entrepreneur? Still talking about uh, last week's content. Generally, I told you that I believe that an entrepreneur is born, but he can be made. An entrepreneur can be made. If you want to become an entrepreneur, you and you it's not in you, basically it's in everybody, but you are yet to discover that it's in you. You can follow or observe the lifestyles and practices of people who are already successful entrepreneur, and everything you learn from them, you take it in and you practice it consciously, and over time it becomes part of you. And then um, the last thing we discussed last week was a first step to entrepreneurship. And we said the first step to becoming an entrepreneur is interest. But you cannot have the interest if you don't understand what it is. First and foremost, you need to understand what entrepreneurship is. You need to accept that it is a work realm. It is a realm where you earn income. It is not a party free for all. No. Once you understand that and you accept that and you are ready for that, then you've taken the next step. That's about the revision of what happened last week on Business Realm. Now, today, what are we doing today? Today, we are taking the next step to discuss starting a business. The topic for today is starting a business. And so we take it from where we stopped last week. How do you start a business? Yes, we have mentioned interest, that you have to be interested in being a business girl, a business boy, a business papa, a business mama, a business woman, a business man. You have to be interested. You have to know what the path of business entails. It is not the path where you have a slot in the service of a state or a nation or an establishment, and you are given a table and a computer, and you go there every week or every day just by sitting down. Either you are assigned a task or you are not assigned a task, and you get your pay at the end of the month. Entrepreneurship is not like that. When you work, you gain. You work, you reap. Once you are ready for that kind of life, then the path of entrepreneurship is for you. It is not for an individual who want to feed on the strength of the multitude, who want to feed on the strength, on the qualities, on the energy, on the resourcefulness, on the creativity of others, just by being part of a system. It is a path where your hands must be on, where you have your hands on all of the time, and you keep thinking of how to make things better so that the profit can keep coming. That is the path of business. So if you are ready to work, to earn and become great, you are cordially invited here. Please come along. Yes, starting a business, the first thing is to have the interest to do what is necessary, to do the needful on the path of entrepreneurship. But the thing about interest is that it can develop from either knowledge or passion. When you have the knowledge of something like entrepreneurship, when you have the knowledge of entrepreneurship, you may become interested in it because that knowledge inspires you. It may also be a given field of business or a given field of operation that you have knowledge of, and because of that knowledge, you are inspired to also join the field. That is one way of developing an interest in a path or a field of business. Another way is to have the passion. You don't even know jack about the field. You don't know Jack Robinson, as they would say. You don't even know the ABC, the nitty-gritty of the operations in that field. But you just discover that you love it. Why do you love it? You don't know. You just discover that you are endeared to it. You are attracted to it. You are being pulled by it. So if that is the case, then you are on the right track. That's the first step. If you are knowledgeable about something, or you've learned about something, and you are inspired by that knowledge, you can go ahead and continue to learn. And if you just discover that you have passion for that thing, the love for that thing is just natural within you, then you are also good to go. You won't just go into a business not because you seriously like it, not because you have knowledge of it, not because you are interested in it, but because somebody makes money from it. If that is your the only thing that is attracting you, then you are missing it. Don't go into it just because somebody who is in it has got 20 cars, or somebody who is in it has built many houses, or somebody who is in it dresses well, or somebody who is in it put on gold and expensive bogus flamboyant jewelry. That should not that cannot sustain you if that is the only thing attracting you to the business that you are planning to go into. Let it be that you have knowledge of it, you at least a bit. You can't learn everything before you start. You know a bit, you know the you have the elementary knowledge about that thing, and you accept what it is required to do on that field, and you are ready to do it, or that you just find the burning desire within you to go into that field. Your knowledge and interest, genuine interest, will sustain you, and the passion within you can sustain you. Not what somebody has done with that business, or what somebody has derived from that line cannot sustain another person. That will be greed, or covetousness, or envy, or jealousy. So it is for you to find your interest, it is for you to find your passion before you decide that this is my field, this is the business that I want to do, this is the business that I want to engage in, this is the business that I want to subscribe to. Make sure that you are interested in it, or that you have passion for it. And after interest is settled, the next thing to do when you are starting a business is to find more facts, and I call that fact finding. Even for those who have been in a business for 20 years, 30 years, or more or less, every day they are still learning. Learning never ends. Either you are a world acclaimed professional, or successful businessman, or anything that you may think that you are, you continue to learn till the end of time. Not to talk of somebody who is just starting. So if you are just starting a business, or you are planning to go into business, and you have established your interest in a particular kind of business, or in a particular field, or you have discovered that you have passion for the particular thing, the next thing to do is fact finding. You need to learn more about it. You can't learn everything before you start, but you can learn more. You can always learn more every time, every day, every season, every moment. You can always learn more. And of course, there is always the need to learn more. So find out as much as you can about your particular business or particular field of interest. How do you learn more? You can read books. Find relevant books to the field by brilliant or popular or bestseller authors, and read the books. If you're not given to reading, you can ask questions, you can sample opinions, find out more from people already in the business, or even people who are already consuming that product. You need to know whether there is a market for what you are planning to sell. Either you also sell your service, either you are selling product or you are selling service. You need to find out how huge or small the market for the thing that you are going to offer is. And you need to also find out where the market is. So one, we say you can read books, you can ask questions from people who are knowledgeable about your chosen field or your chosen business. You can sample opinions even from consumers. You can, and today in the days of internet, you can you can Google so much and find out as much as possible before you start. So there are many ways of finding out things today. There are so many social media platforms, and there are groups. You can even join relevant groups before you start a business, so that in that group you watch, you monitor what people who are in that business or in that field are saying about their business, and you are learning from their experience even before you start that business. Now, like I said, learning will never end. Learning never ends. But you can learn for for 200 years before you start your business. So learning would have to go pari passu with actual operation. So there must be a point where you start. But when you want to start, there are still things to consider, and these are the things that we call factors of production in economics. If you're a student of economics, at least to up to secondary school level, you would be familiar with what factors of production are, and mainly there are four. There are four factors of production. These are the things that would stand as foundation block for your business. The money you are going to make, the factors of production that is serving as foundation block will determine the volume of profit or money or gains that you can make. So don't be frightened when they say factors of production: land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. The terms may appear, regardless of how the terms appear to you, just take it easy, because we are going to break it down here, so that either you are starting a multi-million naira business, or you are starting a 5,000 or 2,000 naira business, or even 1,000 naira business. All of these are possible. Dangote didn't start out as a, a, a giant business entity. No, they all started small and grew from where they started to where they are today. So when they talk about land, it doesn't mean that you need to go and buy 10 hectares or 5 acres of land, or even a plot of land, before you can start your business. Land simply refers to your space. And may I tell you, your space may even be your bedroom. That is it. Your space may be your kitchen. Your space may be your balcony. Your space may be, in fact, the term portfolio NGOs is very, there are people who are familiar with that term. You have an NGO and you don't even have an office. Every document that you need to tender wherever you want to visit is inside your briefcase NGO. So your land may be your bedroom. All that is important is land refers to space, the physical space where you operate from, and it could be as big or as small, depending on your vision or your dream. And then we have labor. And don't be surprised. It is not everybody. Don't be frightened. Rather, don't be frightened when they say if you are going to business, you need labor. You don't have to hire a single laborer if you are starting a 1,000 naira business. You double as the entrepreneur and the laborer at the same time. Many people, may not be everybody, but many people started that way. So you need to think of labor. You need to, and because if you are starting out as the entrepreneur and as the workman, you need to consider your health. This is very important. You don't go into a business that would challenge your strength or your health beyond healthy limits. So labor is the energy, the workmanship that is required to handle your business operations. And then capital. When they say capital, capital simply means money. That's it. It simply means money. But some professionals or academics like to say that money refers to the machines, the equipment, the building, the infrastructure that you need to carry out your business operations. But simply put, capital refers to money, because even the space, the land that you are going to operate on or that you are going to operate from may be something that you need to procure with money. And even the machineries, the equipment may be something that you are not inheriting from your parents or that you didn't have before. So you need money for everything. Money answereth all things. And once you realize that you are going to need capital to start your business, you you can't you can't I'm trying to employ a Yoruba proverb here. You can't be someone who doesn't even have enough to buy a bicycle and you go to buy a vehicle on credit. Do everything according to the according to your capital. Yes, everything that you have to do will be according to your capacity. For instance, you want to start a business, you have 200,000 naira, and you are then dreaming of becoming a distributor to a company that requires you to make an initial deposit of 100 million naira. That will not be possible. Or you want to, all you that you have to start your business is 5,000 naira, and just because somebody, a woman or a man across, is into a business that is worth 1 billion naira, and you keep having your eye on that instead of thinking of what your 5,000 naira capital can achieve, so that you can start off from somewhere. And then the last factor of production is entrepreneurship, and that refers to the business founder, the business owner, who would have to control all of the other factors, who would have to use all of the other factors correctly, wisely, appropriately, the person who has the innovation, who has the creativity, who does the mental work to ensure that all other factors of production are, are put to use, are put to appropriate use, are put to adequate use, are put to use correctly. That is the entrepreneur, and the entrepreneur is the most important of all the factors of production, because without the entrepreneur there won't even be the dream. The entrepreneur is the dreamer who dreams of birthing, of giving birth to a business. So it is the most important factor of production. And then the next most important factor of production would be I think it will be capital, because there are businesses that you can even do without hiring uh, um, workers, and without renting a new space other than your bedroom that you have. But you need money. Even if you are going to harvest some things, some free gifts of nature from the bush, it's there free. You can enter the bush. You're not afraid to enter the bush to go bring these things back to the market where people can buy them, where those who are afraid to enter the bush can buy them. You may need money for transport to get to that bush or that wilderness or that forest or that farm, and you may also need some money to fine tune these nature's gifts, or to embellish them a bit to make them attractive, or to process them so that the buyers will not have too much to do before they can consume what they have bought. So bear it in mind, as an entrepreneur, you are the most important factor of production, followed by capital. And then I would say that next is land. Land or space is very important because nobody exists in the air. You need your feet on the ground on some space. So space is very important. Space gives you privacy. Space gives you comfort, and it gives you it helps you to manage because every cook has a secret ingredient. But if you don't have a space, your secret ingredient will be on another person's space. So you, as the entrepreneur, you are the most important. Capital, money that answereth all things is next, and space is next. You may not need to engage anybody until you have grown your business. You as the entrepreneur have understood what you are doing. You've understood your business. And because if you don't understand what you are doing, you can't even mentor anybody. So it is not necessary, it is not compulsory that you start your business on the scale that you will require to recruit some staff, on the scale that you will need to buy a plot of land. You do not have to start your business on the scale that you need laborers. No, you need yourself first and foremost. You need yourself, you need your brain, you need your mind, you need clarity about what you want. You need to understand what you want to do, and you need to be ready to start on the scale that your financial capacity can handle. We are gradually rounding off for today, and it's my pleasure leaving this content within the social media space, so that anybody who is interested in this can find this to read at any time. Remember, last week we treated Introduction to Entrepreneurship, that's lesson 1, and on lesson 2 today we have treated starting a business. And to start a business, you need to be interested in a particular business. You need to start with a business. Forget about somebody who has been in business for 20 years and by now they have diversified to 2, 3, 4 other things. You don't need to start on that scale. Start with an idea. Start with a business that you are interested in, that you can handle, that you can manage, that you have the capital to start. Start there and grow from there. And then fact finding, you learn forever. Learning never stops. Keep learning. Before you start, while you are starting, while you're running your business, continue to learn. Learn every day. A customer has come in, and when he or she leaves, review your interaction with that customer. Did you handle it well? Did you not handle it well? You have gone for procurement. When you get back home, review the process. What did you do right? What did you not do right? The good thing about God, about our Maker, is that He's always near. And when you think, you are communing with God. And when you think and you are open, even before you go to any high-profile business school, answers will come, because the Spirit of God in you knows everything and can teach you everything, from knowing yourself to knowing anything at all. So that's it on this edition of Business Realm. We believe you have enjoyed the content that we have shared with you today, and we invite you to make it a date with us again next Sunday. On behalf of my crew, Kayode and Diana, who are working tirelessly behind the screen to ensure that everything is smooth. I thank you so much, and I'll be with you again very soon. My name is Bola Omotayo. Bye for now.